Have you ever wondered why legs tend to swell more in the evening? This happens because blood and lymph accumulate in the lower limbs throughout the day, and excess water descends and gets trapped in the tissues by the evening. But why does this happen? Is it due to hot weather, salty pickles, vein problems, or something worse? After all, leg swelling can be the first sign of heart issues or other diseases. We will tell you how to understand what causes your legs to swell, how to deal with the swelling, and what you should never do if your legs swell regularly. Ready to discover the secrets to healthy legs? Then let's go. What kind of swelling signals a medical condition? Why do legs swell more often with age, and what can be done about it? What simple method can reduce swelling? And what should absolutely not be done in case of swelling? Why do legs swell in the heat? And what kind of swelling is caused by chocolate? Which beloved product causes leg swelling? And it's not salt. An experienced phlebologist will reveal a simple method to help with swelling, one you likely haven't heard of. And you'll hear an insightful story from our expert about a person with swelling who, well, just watch and you'll find out. We often don't pay much attention to leg swelling. So what if my legs are swollen? It's not a disease. And that's true, there is no such disease called swelling. So what is swelling? It's the accumulation of excess fluid in the body's tissues. And it happens for various reasons, including heart failure, kidney disease, hormonal changes, allergic reactions, lymphatic system disorders, varicose veins, and poor diet. We all know that salty food retains water in the body, often leading to leg swelling. But why at 20 can you eat a ton of salt at lunch and have no swelling, and at an older age, after just a bite of herring, you can't even fit into your slippers? Why does leg swelling occur more frequently with age? Because natural changes happen in the vascular system. Veins and arteries become less elastic than before, and venous blood flow worsens, leading to blood stagnation in the legs and swelling. Here's what happens. The vein wall changes. It's not like it used to be. Water doesn't pass through dense fabric, but it flows freely through gauze. When the vein wall is altered, the liquid part of the blood seeps through it into the tissues, like through gauze, and stays there. That's how swelling occurs. And such swelling is unfortunately common among the elderly. Up to 85% of women suffer from it. And do you know what 8 out of 10 women usually do when they see their swollen legs? Must have eaten something. Better take a diuretic and flush out the extra water. Just like the internet suggests, they think. But what does our expert think about this? Today we're joined by the 2020 St. Petersburg Doctor of the Year, an experienced surgeon and phlebologist, and ultrasound diagnostics physician, Vadim Andreyevich Sidorov. Self-medicating with diuretics is harmful. Some people even try to lose weight using these drugs. However, each of these medications should only be prescribed by a doctor, and only when medically necessary. Taking diuretics without knowing the cause of swelling is like putting on makeup without a mirror. So right now, I'll tell you about the 3 most dangerous medical causes of swelling, and you'll be able to tell whether your swelling is due to an illness or something more every day. Let's start with the heart. In people over 50, swelling may be linked to heart failure. How exactly? Look here. When the heart doesn't have the strength to pump blood effectively, it stagnates in the leg veins. The excess blood puts pressure on the veins. Then, just like with vein problems, fluid leaks out of the veins into the tissues. Everything about swelling caused by heart failure is known by our expert, Dr. Maria Konstantinova Tchaikovskaya, a candidate of medical sciences with over 15 years of experience and co-author of a global scientific discovery. In a stable patient, even with heart failure, swelling should not occur under normal conditions. However, when the condition worsens, excess fluid begins to accumulate and leg swelling appears. This type of swelling always starts from the bottom, from the legs. If the hands swell, or if puffiness appears under the eyes, or there is swelling in just one leg, it is never related to the heart. Got it? Swelling from heart failure always affects both legs. But there's another reason legs swell: kidneys. With age, they don't function as efficiently as in youth, and excess fluid and salt aren't fully eliminated. At any age, impaired kidney function leads to fluid and salt retention in the body, which causes swelling not only in the legs, but also on the face and hands. Unlike varicose-related swelling, these occur in the morning. And the third common cause of swelling is hypothyroidism, thyroid dysfunction. When the thyroid's function decreases, metabolism slows down and fluid accumulates in the tissues. Why do you have swelling? What's the reason? Who knows? Let's try to figure it out. Right now, press your finger on the shin next to the bone, just like in the image. No need to press hard. Now look, if a dent remains after you lift your finger, then swelling is present. If there's no dent, everything's fine. And if your legs are swollen, you can also test for venous insufficiency. Lie on your back, lift your legs up, rest them against the wall, and hold them there for a few minutes. If the swelling reduces, the cause may indeed be vein problems. But if you've been standing still for a long time and your legs swell significantly by evening, this could indicate heart issues, especially if evening swelling happens regularly after standing work. Of course, these self-tests won't give you a diagnosis. For a diagnosis, see a doctor. It's important to start treatment on time and monitor your condition. If a person's body retains excess fluid, there are cases where it accumulates up to 15 liters. This is exactly the kind of situation where both legs are swollen, and fluid has even built up in the abdominal cavity around the lungs, in the lungs themselves, and even around the heart. In such a state, the person feels so unwell that they experience shortness of breath. This is an important symptom of fluid buildup in the lung tissues. If leg swelling is regular, it's crucial to find the cause. Without a doctor and additional tests, you're just guessing why your legs are swelling. Although, sometimes the cause isn't a disease. That happens too. For example, after menopause, women may experience leg swelling due to reduced estrogen, the female hormone that affects many functions in the body, even mental processes. So yes, hormonal changes also affect vascular permeability and fluid retention. In fact, swelling can be caused not only by low estrogen levels, but also high levels. Many of our viewers have surely noticed that during menstruation, fluid retention occurs and legs swell. Another reason for swelling, which many don't even suspect, is medication. Some drugs commonly taken in older age, like blood pressure or anti-inflammatory medications, can cause fluid retention and swelling as a side effect. This is mentioned in the instructions. Does anyone know why legs swell more often in hot weather? Any guesses? Write them in the comments. Let's discuss this. Because in summer, leg swelling by the evening happens to almost every elderly person, or at least every other one. Why? What happens in the heat? It turns out it's simple. In the heat, blood vessels expand, just like in a sauna, and our circulatory system looks like this. The vessels are dilated, so their permeability increases. Remember the gauze example? Fluid easily escapes from the expanded vessels and capillaries into the tissues. And if you sit still for a long time in the heat, swelling is guaranteed. This kind of swelling is called gravitational swelling, meaning swelling caused by gravity. Everyone remembers what that is, right? Gravity is the force of attraction. It's what makes apples fall from trees and keeps planets in orbit around the sun. Gravitational swelling appears due to gravity. Fluid collects in the lower limbs when you sit for a long time. These types of swelling are considered everyday or occasional, but there is a special type of swelling called lymphedema. Let's talk more about that. In lymphedema, lymphatic drainage is impaired. Our lymphatic system is responsible for removing excess fluids from tissues and returning it to the bloodstream. Lymphedema can result from a congenital abnormality in the lymphatic vessels, or from injuries or burns that damage lymph nodes. When lymph drainage is impaired, persistent swelling, meaning swelling that doesn't go away, can develop in the arms or legs. But even in someone with healthy lymphatic vessels, leg swelling can occur due to lymph stagnation. So what can be done to prevent this? Start moving more than you do now. Regular physical activity improves blood circulation and lymphatic drainage, which helps prevent lymph stagnation and fluid buildup in tissues. In addition to walking or swimming, simple exercises can help reduce swelling. Want to know which ones? Hit the like button and watch the screen. Exercise 1. Walk barefoot on your tiptoes for a few minutes. Take it slowly and carefully. If you have balance issues, do it next to a wall for support. Exercise 2. Lie on your bed, lift your legs, and rest your feet lightly against the wall. Then release the pressure and relax your legs. Press again, relax again, and then rest with your legs raised above your head for a few minutes. When finishing this exercise, be careful, don't get up abruptly. Exercise 3. The familiar bicycle while lying on your back. No need to rush. Pedal for as long as you can, rest, and continue. Even doing just one of these exercises daily will help reduce swelling. And if, in addition to exercising, you start drinking enough water every day, you won't recognize yourself or your legs after a month. But how much water should you drink to prevent swelling? A little or a lot? If you watched our video about the liver, you already know how much water to drink. If you know, write your answer in the comments. And for those who missed it, to reduce swelling, you need to drink more, not less than 10 glasses a day. If you don't get enough water, your body won't let it go. It will retain it. An adequate amount of water and a balanced diet with low salt content help maintain a proper water-salt balance and prevent fluid retention. In the absence of medical conditions, it's often a lack of water in certain foods that cause fluid buildup and swelling. We already know that excess salt causes swelling, because sodium acts like a sponge, retaining fluid in the tissues. But what else? A lack of protein, believe it or not. You need to have enough protein in your diet if you want to prevent leg swelling. Enough means about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of your body weight. Here's a guideline. If you weigh 70 kilograms, you need about 70 grams of protein a day. If you weigh 100 kilograms, then 100 grams. That's roughly the amount in a palm-sized piece of meat, excluding the fingers. And you should also cut back on simple carbohydrates. Here's why. All the energy your body gets from this type of food but doesn't use gets stored in the liver as glycogen, your energy reserve. And every gram of stored glycogen retains 3 grams of water. You see the problem? You gave up salty food but ate something sweet before bed. And in the morning, hello, swelling. What other foods can cause swelling? Here's the list. Foods with salt and flavor enhancers. Fruits when combined with other foods. Refined foods. Red meat. Alcohol. Dairy products. You probably didn't know that dairy products can cause swelling, but they do. Especially cheeses and processed dairy like cottage cheese. They contain high levels of sodium, which retains water. And you might also not know the simplest way to eliminate swelling. Our expert will share it with you very soon. And now, tried and true methods for reducing swelling. One of the simplest and most effective ways is contrast foot baths. Try alternating between dipping your feet in hot and cold water. This improves circulation and helps reduce swelling because your blood vessels get a workout, first constricting, then dilating. And you should always end with cold water. Why? Because cooling causes the vessels to constrict, reducing fluid leakage and thereby reducing swelling. You can make a warm foot bath by adding 1 tablespoon of sea salt and soaking your feet for 20 minutes, topping up with warm water. Then rinse your feet with cold water and do a light massage. This kind of evening ritual relieves fatigue and tones your legs. Do you love citrus fruits? Treat your legs to a citrus bath. Recipe on the screen. Citrus fruits contain substances like limonene and essential oils that stimulate blood circulation, helping to reduce fluid buildup. You can also use an age-old, time-tested remedy for swelling. Cabbage leaf compresses overnight. Some suggest simply applying cabbage leaves to the legs, but it's better to crush them so they release juice, then wrap and secure them. Interesting. Why does cabbage help? Could it just be self-suggestion? A placebo effect, as they say? I looked into this scientifically, and here's what I found. There are several explanations for why cabbage helps reduce swelling. First, it contains various active compounds with anti-inflammatory properties. Everyone knows plantain can be used on wounds, right? cabbage works in a similar way. It's also believed that cabbage can draw excess fluid out of tissues. While this isn't scientifically proven, many do experience reduced swelling after using cabbage. But what if folk remedies don't help? Then remember, swelling can be a symptom of serious conditions like varicose veins, heart failure, and others. When a person develops swelling, it may occur around the ankle joint, on the shin, or on the top of the foot. Swelling may extend from the foot all the way up to the area behind the knee. It may be symmetrical on both legs, or one leg may be more swollen than the other. In every such case, it's necessary to consult a specialist. This could be a phlebologist or a vascular surgeon who will perform a diagnostic assessment of the veins in the lower limbs to check for venous outflow disorders. Or it could be a general practitioner who can perform an initial assessment to distinguish one condition from another, evaluate the symptoms, and determine which specialist to refer the patient to. Self-treatment is a poor practice and can lead to serious consequences. Do you agree with our expert, or do you think there's no need to see a doctor at the first sign of swelling? Only go when things get really bad? Share your opinion in the comments, friends. By the way, our expert also has a cautionary story for you about a patient who waited too long to seek medical help. Of course, patients usually notice right away when swelling starts. Their feet no longer fit into their usual shoes. It's not uncommon for a person to show up at the doctor's office wearing shapeless, unlaced sneakers or slippers because their feet are so swollen they can't fit into regular footwear. Don't let yourself get to that point. Yeah, after hearing about slippers in winter, I want to ask, have you been planning to see a doctor about your swelling for a while now? But let me ask you a different question. When was the last time you walked barefoot on grass or sand? Remember? Walking barefoot isn't just a way to feel closer to nature, it's a fantastic way to improve your health and reduce leg swelling. When you walk on grass, sand, or small pebbles, you stimulate enough points on your feet, which boosts blood and lymph circulation, helping to eliminate swelling. Sometimes the simplest things can improve our health. And here's one of the easiest ways to help yourself if you suffer from leg swelling. A method that works, but that people often forget. There is only one minor method that may help in the event of swelling: elastic bandaging using a medium stretch bandage. You should wrap the part of the leg, foot, or shin where the swelling has occurred. Bandaging should start at the tips of the toes and go up to the area behind the knee. But the key point is this: you must first understand the cause of the swelling, and for that, you need to consult a medical professional. Now for a tricky question. How many hours a day do you move? 2 or 3? 8? Do you know? We may think we're active enough, but try tracking just one day. How much time do you spend sitting versus moving? And you might find the couch wins out. Change that. Walk more. Exercise regularly, even if it's just morning stretches. Eat less salt and drink enough water to help your body flush out the excess. Your health is what you do, eat, and drink. Your health is you. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We worked hard to bring you the most useful information about leg swelling. And if you know more, share your personal experiences with reducing swelling in the comments.